Welcome back, everybody, to the channel and to the iRacing AI Formula 3 JKR. I don't know what to call this series, but that's nothing new. Yeah. So, if you haven't been in the loop, go back and watch the Formula V series, the Spec Racer Ford series, and finally I don't remember what the other series was. Oh, Mazda Cup, duh. The Mazda Cup series. I just want to make sure that our setup is correct here, that we have something up to date. I don't. All right, I'm gonna go find an old set from my old stuff real quick. Anyways, I was gonna say, if you're not updated on what we got going on here today, in general, uh, watch those three series, and you'll kind of be set the tone for where we're at today and how we got to this Formula 3 season. So. I thank everybody so much for stopping by. I hope this is enjoyable to each of you. Making sure I'm in the right category for where my old sets would be. I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh man. Okay, we're just gonna go with this. We're just gonna use this high downforce setup, and this is gonna be what we got. And if we're terrible half the tracks, then so be it. But it's for fun, so who cares? Anyways, so where I'm going with this is we're kind of in the middle of this kind of career ladder path type thing we've got going on here. So what is this? Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of something, I guess kind of a big test really. So we'll see where we end up. Enjoy this video or anything else iRacing related, especially with AI. Make sure you drop a like down below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the action coming up from this Formula 3 series. Any other videos I might post, anything else iRacing related, this is where you want to be. So let's see what I got here. Shoot. Trying my best to make this be work correctly, and it's not really going so hot. So I just want to make sure we have enough fuel in this set, since I have no idea when this setup is from. Let's just go with, I don't know, X amount of fuel. We'll go with that. Okay. So again, now we went from the Mazda Cup that I'm very, very, very comfortable with and not at all scared of, to this car that I literally don't know anything about. So you're going to have to forgive me a little bit as far as that goes. I'm going to just call it JKR F3 AI. Okay, anyways, so now that we have a set that is going to pass tech and hopefully at least work a little bit, we'll skip ahead here. We don't need practice if we don't run well. This is actually, I was mistaken about the whole longer race. This single lap qualifying 20-minute races. So a little bit shorter season. The previous Mazda Cup season was 9 races. This is only going to be 7. This is race number 1, obviously. So I guess we'll kind of see where we're at. I don't know if this is going to be a big struggle or what. I don't know if I have the correct downforce or not. But we're just going to roll with it. I am not very good in the Formula 3 car, I want to say that right away before we get started here. It's not a car I'm comfortable with. I kind of touched on this briefly in the past about my lack of comfort and familiarity with open wheel cars in general, but especially for whatever reason this one. I've never been bad in the Indy car, but it's definitely not my primary thing. I enjoy the skip bar because it's slow and a little more like my familiarity with the Pontiac and stuff, but this car has been a struggle for me in the past, so I just about kill myself under braking there at the end of the straightaway. The goal here is just going to kind of be to put solid races together, run okay, and hopefully we can finish up towards the top 3 in points and have some offers to move on up. So I don't expect to just wax everything here in this series like I did for a big part of the Mazda Cup series. There's not going to be the usual, along with what I was talking about earlier. If I have any mic issues or anything is weird, sounds weird, feels weird, seems weird, I apologize. Those of you that know me know this channel. Not a whole lot I can do about it this time. Good grief, maybe I have too little downforce, but that's fine. Not a whole lot I can do about it, unfortunately, at this point. That's kind of something I gotta deal with, just circumstantial right now, so hope that's not too big of an issue. Here's we're on our flying qualifier lap. Back to the alt account with the normal unmarked paint scheme, so back where we belong. Maybe it was the main account with the nice paint scheme and the custom number that made all the difference in the Mazda Cup, and if we run terribly here, we might resort to that. So anyways, definitely looking forward to this season. Something different, something I'm not very good at, not very familiar with for sure. Braked way early there, but that's better than being way off track, so just hoping to be in the ballpark here and get through. This is going to be one of the trickier races for me personally. Not a lot of experience here. This is a very tricky track for a car like this, and with cold tires it's definitely a little bit of a hassle for sure. So 20 minutes again will take a little bit longer, it seems like, laps wise in this car. Obviously 20 minutes and being very careful and patient here. Don't want to make any big mistakes on this Q lap at least. 20 minutes is going to be slightly more laps than it would be in the Mazda in this car. So we'll see how that plays out. Actually, that's P1 right now. It's a nice surprise. I don't think that'll hold up. Perhaps it will. Actually, maybe it will. Hinkle is actually one of the higher rated guys, along with Ian and John Henry, and I see them performing well, and we are 7/10 up on that. So maybe I'll surprise myself a little bit. I haven't run any practice or prep or anything like that. It's just one of those things where I surprise sometimes knowing a track better than I think I do. So yeah. That was on race fuel too, obviously. I didn't even think about that. Alright. Make sure we uncheck the fuel here. Only option is all the tires. Again, same deal as we saw in the Mazda MX-5 round here. Going to be a little bit of a weird start procedure where they pick the green. Try to get some tire heat here. I don't expect to win this race. I expect to make some mistakes throughout the season. This is obviously one of the prime tracks to make mistakes at. But we'll see how we can do here. That inside line really helping right there. John Henry's also going to get through Michael there, so just got to be careful here for about 2 laps. Get everything up to temperature, running smoothly, and hopefully we'll be okay and hang on for a little bit. So if we could win this race, that would be excellent. That would be a huge boost. I'm not expecting it. I expect to make mistakes in this car. In this series, again, this setup is actually pretty old. 2-second lead already is encouraging, though. We've only had 2 corners, but it could be a fluke as well. This setup is actually from last fall, so a year plus old right now. Try to use 3rd gear through there next time. Doesn't seem necessary to use 2nd gear until we get to here. Keep that in mind. I don't anticipate a lot of traffic here. Same difficulty settings as we saw in the Mazda Cup car. We didn't catch traffic regularly or anything in that series. So again, a little shorter, 7 races here versus the 9. So this series will take a little bit shorter as far as getting them all uploaded and viewable here, but nonetheless, just trying to kind of be patient and smart and smooth is going to be the key here in a car that I literally know almost nothing about in the real world. So solid first lap, that's done there. Decent lap speed. We've already got nearly a 4-second lead, which kind of surprises me. Maybe the setup is better than I thought it would. I essentially just changed some of the heights and stuff to past tech from what I ran. I ran this car semi-regularly. In seasons past, about a year ago, I dipped into it a little bit. Found minor success, ran okay a few times, but way too many times were just mistakes on my part. But then poor driving standards, and that happens in an open wheel car, and you get your wheel taken off immediately from someone making a dive bomb. It's not a lot of fun, so kind of abandoned decided it was the series for me. But we're using it here on the road up the ladder to the top. So I want to state what I'm thinking about this. We are now in the 4th season of this series. I think there are 9 total. I don't remember how many I set up. I set it up a while ago, all at once at the beginning. So, but I do want to say, my idea of the road to the top, I just wanted to showcase as many different cars and track combinations and things as possible while not having this be like 500 series long, because I could just race every car in the sim and that would be no fun. But I want to state that there's no way you should necessarily think of this as the perfect series. It's not. This is the path you have to follow in the sim, in real life, in anything. I just wanted to jump across between some various cars and see some different things. So the fact that I went from the Formula B to the spec to the Mazda, if you think that's dumb, that's entirely your decision. You're entirely your right, entirely your prerogative. Does it make it correct? No. Does it make me correct? No. I just want to say that out there before we got too far into this. So the fact that we're now in the Formula B after Mazda Cup, if that's not realistic, well, that's fantastic. So I just wanted to get that out there for everybody to hear. Again, I'm sure most people don't care, but I'm sure I'll get some hate at some point for, I can't believe you thought that because you won in the Mazda Cup you were qualified for Formula 1. So we're just doing this because it's what I want to do next, and a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of something different. I believe that this is the only open wheel car on this calendar, actually. I think that, I'm trying to think in my head without revealing too much of what's to come. But yes, this is the only open wheel car that I have set up for this little series. Apart from the V, I meant moving forwards. Obviously the Formula V is open wheel. Hiccups never fail, man, just to remind me that I'm talking too much, so. Still hanging around the 4-second lead. Just kind of maintaining right now. It looks like some of those cars towards the back there, we should have pace for top 5 here. It looks like sub 121 there, 20.3. Still doing okay as far as pulling away from like 5th, to them, but Ian, John, Henry, and Michael look to be our main competition, at least in this particular race, so that's good to know that we are at least hanging in there okay. And Jimmy Broadman came out of pits in between there. About a quarter of the way through the race here, not quite, 20 minutes as usual. That'll be for all of the races this season. I know a couple of the races I have in later series, the track time varies based on how long the track is or how long the races are, yada yada, so keep that in mind. Not all the races are going to be exactly the same, but for this series they are. So this next lap, I think I'll just shut up, give it a breather, and let you all listen to me tiptoe a Formula 3 car around Mid-Ohio, which I'm almost certain they'll never ever come here in real life, but it's a nice flowing circuit that is challenging and kind of sets up for a nice start to the series. So this is where we are, and I'll kind of shut up and let you see my not very good driving ability. Sure, I'm full sets, real fast guys in this car with real sets and stuff, so we'll see if we can have a nice video here tiptoeing around Mid-Ohio. Not the best lap I've ever run or anything, but it was okay. It's going to be sub 20, so happy with that. But at the same time, if you are watching the relative and keeping an eye on that, we're maintaining a little bit over Ian and Dean and the rest of the pack back there. However, Michael and John both coming with full heads of steam towards us, so we are definitely going to be under attack for battle here shortly. It seems like they're a little faster through the whole track, but certainly the last corner, the keyhole there, is they're making up like half a second. So need to either find some time or some bravery or something. On the right side, that's a very difficult corner to pass in. So that's at least a benefit there that we'll have if we can just get there every lap and protect. However, they are on the move, so even Ian a little bit is at 7 seconds back. If he gains even half a second, this race will be over by then. So feel good about it. I'm tempted to start pushing a little bit more to try to find some more time to protect this, but I just know this is the kind of track I will make the mistake and will have problems. So now if we start back on the last lap, I might throw a little bit of a Hail Mary and go hard, but for now it's just not in cards for my skills and my comfort right now. Actually, they're all starting to close down a little bit, even though we went with a green lap once again. Almost a 1 second gain for them through there that time. So now just under a second back. Ian 6.5 back, so they're definitely coming, all of them, with some good speed towards me. So definitely not my best performance ever at this track for sure. We'll see if other tracks are different. But we're going to have to play some defense here, and it looks like we're probably going to catch traffic as we're not yet to halfway in this race, so we're definitely going to have to deal with some lapped cars here at some point. Hopefully they get out of the way, and as I stated earlier about some of my official experiences, if you make contact in this car, you're done. Wheel comes off, and that's that. So hope we don't have too much or any of that. Just trying to thread the needle, be a little bit more aggressive with my curbs and brake markers as the back end steps out just a little bit there on the low downforce. That could be part of it as well. The low downforce is really helping us through sections of the track, which is fine. We're going to stick it fourth through there. Definitely feel the back end slipping away as the tires wear. Now right up on the rear bumper, spoiler, whatever, the wing. Looks like Ian was a little more than half a second better than us there. We're almost down to the 118s and gave up over half a second, almost a full second that lap just to Michael. So we're definitely going to battle now as we're going to be at halfway this next time by. See if we can get 15 laps out of this here. Certainly 14 though. Either 15 or 16 is going to be the number. See how good of a draft they down this long straightaways. We might have to go defensive. Just have to see. It looks like no pop from him back there yet. John Henry's still hanging about 10 to 12 car lengths back from the pair of us. A little bit wide there from Michael behind. Quickly become a 4-car battle if I start messing around here and make mistakes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Because Ian is fast enough to close us down ever so slowly. Not gaining huge gobs of time, but enough to be a threat towards the end of this race, especially if we're making small mistakes and even off the road. Definitely going to be under fire for even staying on the podium, so. There we go, complete lap 8, certainly past the halfway mark now. And less than a second for the top 3 cars, so. Okay, right there. Dean Marsh still about 8 seconds back. I think we're pretty safe if we keep it on the island for a top 5. But the goal here is obviously the podium for sure, and such a great start and a great Q lap to try to win the race. Little bit of gap we've opened up through there. 6/10 good exit from whatever that corner is. I don't know the corner names. Maybe I'm saying them all wrong, but definitely a defensive line from Michael there for John Henry, trying to protect second place. John Henry's going to go right around the outside, so that's an interesting development now. Michael's lost place, definitely seems like the quicker two thus far, but going to have to fight back now from third. Almost missed that corner, a little bit wobbly over on the curb, going to cost us a little bit over the top of the crest there. Ian still not quite closing down enough to be involved in this battle in the immediate sense. But as soon as we start battling at all and slow each other up or anything like that, we're going to be at his mercy back there. He's going to join this party very, very quickly. So Angela right in front. Hopefully we can get through her off the exit of turn 1 here. No problems. Very, very slow right there. We're going to all have to check up a little bit. No problem. We all get through without harm, but we lost about a second to Ian, all of us there, getting through that lapped car. So I'm in there a little bit deep. Try to take a nice late apex there and get the power down, which we do. A little bit of a mistake. Down to about a third of the race left here. Still looking in the mirror, trying to make sure John's not going to take a big dive here at the end of this long straightaway. I do feel pretty comfortable into braking through that corner as well, and it's not always an advantage to be on the inside if you can hold them out to this corner. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If John's going to go wide, almost give a look to Michael there to try to grab second place back. Definitely testing all of my skills here as this car. This is just about as foreign as you can get from me and my skill set in an open wheel road racing car. I've been okay in Indy cars. Those of you that know me and have known me for a long time, I won the iRacing Indy 500 in 2014. So fairly comfortable in that regard, fairly comfortable, like I said, in the car like the Skip or even the Indy car, but it's kind of mid-speed, high downforce, momentum-y type open wheel car is definitely my weak point on the sim. Followed by GT cars, funnily enough, but definitely breathing a little harder, working harder than I did in probably the whole entire Mazda Cup season collectively, just in the first 10 laps of this race. So again, a little bit deep there, but okay, no problem, no foul. Half-second gap we've opened up. Not a lot of pressure still from Ian behind us. Front 3 here. Again, John's gonna have to go defensive. Side by side, Michael might pull that same move and get second place back right here, and he will indeed. So, pink or purple car there as we have a big slide over the hill. Gonna come back and grab second place behind us. All this battling just helps Ian Soodle behind us. Oh, another big slide by me. Again, we went with the kind of lower medium downforce, not low downforce like Spa or Monza or something, but low enough in the sake of this track for sure, and it's helping us protect down these straightaways, but we are definitely at their mercy in some of these corners that we really just got to protect. As John has gone off the road right there, John Henry has made a mistake in the final corner, and he's dropped back outside the top 5 with that mistake. So now down to a 2-car battle as we protect from a little look there from Michael Hinkle. 3 seconds back now for Ian. 5 minutes to go in this race, 1/4 distance. Probably about 3 more laps would be my guess after this one. That is, so 15 total would be my assumption here. 4 back, of course, with 1 car behind as long as Ian doesn't catch us immediately. The job gets a little bit easier. You can just kind of protect and block 1 car and keep an eye on the mirror. You don't have to worry about, defending 1 car and another sneaking through both of you. So it gets a little bit easier here for the short term until Ian catches us or something else happens. Oh, a little slide by me, not good. Managed to gather it up. Michael wasn't close enough to pounce that time. The car turned in nicely there over the crest. Good, that was alright. Under 2 seconds back to Ian now. He's gaining about a second a lap. He's going to have 1 lap of a shot at the 2 of us here. Really poor by me through there, just no speed at all. Almost a half a second loss just in that 1 corner alone. Plenty of fuel, 4 minutes to go, which means 3 laps. Michael has a pretty good run right here. We're going to have to go defensive down the middle. Go in there a little bit shallower. Hold the curb, and that's going to allow Ian to close right up to us. 1 second back now. Still have not caught any of this traffic yet. Just checking the race time and trying to figure out if we're going to have 2 more laps or not. Or 3 more, excuse me. Again, defensive down the middle there, trying to protect from a big dive. Still about 1 second back to Ian there. Michael taking that wide line over the crest a little bit to avoid my car. Good positioning right there to keep him at bay. Dean is actually, I talked about Dean being out of it for this race particular. He's actually down to less than 4 seconds behind now, so my long run pace after Q there, definitely not where it needs to be. Still got a nice gap back to Drew and Tran back over 7 seconds back there, but definitely not where we need to be if this was more of a drafting track. Tough to pass here, but if this was Watkins Glen or something, we would be in trouble, so we'll have to keep that in mind when we get to Watkins later in the season. Didn't look at the lap timer there, but we are going to probably have maybe just one more after this. I didn't look exactly, but my guess would be just one more lap. Trying to hang on here. High pressure. I know it's just the AI. Nobody else is here right now. Dog hasn't made an appearance even, but pressure's on. You can kind of hear it in my voice and my breathing. More than usual, certainly more than we had in the Mazda Cup season. I'm working pretty hard to try to keep these guys at bay. There's a lot going on, and with an unfamiliar car, I can't push like I normally would to find the speed. I don't know exactly the best way to find that speed, but just doing everything I can to put together cool laps. So we've now had battle, or at least pressure behind us for nearly half of this race. So still trying to run my best laps that I possibly can here. We've survived the trickiest part down that straightaway now. Every single opportunity they've had has been squashed in front of us, so this is going to be the last lap. So through this last corner, just got to line it up nice once more. Ian has fully arrived on the scene. Dean less than 3 seconds back. There's only one more lap to go at Ohio. Sub 20 still. Nice and smooth through turn 1. Hug that curb. Get a nice exit. Ran a little bit wide. No problem. 4/10 back. We won't need to protect down here at the top of the hill. A little bit deep in there, but they'll just allow us to take a nice late apex and get a straight drive off. 3/10 back, definitely going to have a run down here to the end of the straightaway, so I'll have to keep an eye on the mirror there. Still not close enough. Not going to go defensive. A little bit of a risk, but I don't think he can dive from that far back at this much downforce. You brake pretty late here compared to like an Xfinity car or something. Ian has dropped off 1.3 seconds behind me. Makes up a little bit of time. Different line. 6/10 back. Not a lot of passing opportunities left. Every corner that goes by the wayside, we survive a little bit more. Really only one real passing zone, and that's going to be a big dive into the final corner. 2 corners, technically. Not going to be able to get it done through here. If we can get through here and get in this nice corner well. Next corner well, I should say. Nice and smooth. Go a little slow. Hug the curb. We managed to do it. We tried our best to lose it with the pace we had in the car, but we are going to win race number 1 at Mid-Ohio and break under 1 minute 19. So we put the best lap together at the end when we needed it the most. And we take victory in race number 1 over Michael Hinkle and Ian Sudel, the top 3 podium. Dean Marsh coming on strong at the end. Drew Adamson back in 5th. Tran back in 6th. Otto 7th. Jason Breifogel 8th. Stevie Reese 9th. Grant Reeve 10th. How far back did our Lord and Savior go there? John Henry, where is he? Apparently pretty far back, so unfortunate that John had the issue in the final corner that relegated him outside the top 15 at least. Going to cost a lot of points even if he's fast for the rest of the season. We've seen how one bad race can impact you, from Christopher Bell, Dale Jr., and Nate in the previous season of the Mazda Cup. So. Okay. Yep. Dad was asking me something about the dogs, so apologize for me shouting. Good race. That was, I had to work pretty hard for that, and I'm glad this is only 7 races instead of like 14. It's going to be tough on me in this series in this car. It's not something I'm familiar with or even really all that comfortable with, or feel like I can get a lot of pace out of the race car. So we're going to have to hope and pray that we can get good starts and get out ahead, and then kind of just hang on and hope for the best. If we're going to have a shot here, we're going to have to work extremely hard and be pretty much perfect for that to happen here. So test out this nice pit limiter here, all the way down to pit box number uno. Wow, that was a lot of work. So glad we got through this first race. We're already 1/7 of the way done with the season, I guess then. So setup held up okay. Obviously not my best work, but it'll have to do. Whew. Wow, margin of victory just under 0.3 of a second. Very, very close up in even the top 5 and 6. So nothing going to come easy for sure. John Henry, we got a lot of Johns on this series apparently. John Henry ends up way down in 37th place. So unfortunate for him. He's going to have definitely a mountain to climb back up to get back in points contention. I don't know why it says runner performance. We won the pole. Apparently we didn't win. Did we have a penalty or something? I don't understand. I don't understand why we didn't win. I must have missed something. Did we finish second behind him? Did we let him go before the line? I don't understand at all. Apparently the whole race too. Did we switch numbers there? Because I'm number 64. I don't know what just happened, but you saw it on the film. We definitely won. I don't know what the deal was, but apparently it flipped us or something because I'm Michael Hinkle now with my helmet in my car and number 64. Then we won. I don't know what went on with whatever just happened right there, but we'll deal with that and sort that out in the next episode, I guess. So hopefully we're able to keep accumulating points for ourselves. I don't really know what the deal is there, but that's okay. So it's been fun. It's been real, and excited to move on. I guess the next race we're going to look at next race is at Road Atlanta. So another track with a couple long straightaways, a big drafting track. Following that is Sebring, again, pretty big drafting track. Watkins Glen, another big drafting track. Okayama, another big drafting track. And Spa, definitely a drafting track, followed by the finale to Nürburgring Grand Prix Circuit, which has a couple of long straightaways to draft on. So we're not going to be able to hide in this season. We're going to have to attack and be creative and run hard. So hopefully we can run a little better in the next one and get the points we deserve, I guess. So we'll try to figure out what's going on with that. But until next time, thank you so much for coming by. Bye.